Good evening, everyone. I want to talk about kind of a little miracle, if you will. There's a channel called Global Witness, and I'll tell you right now that I've never talked to this man directly. I do, for some reason, believe he was part of Anonymous at one time. But the very first time I ever laid eyes on this channel, I knew that, to me, this guy was significant. I was a little teary-eyed as he said something quite nice about me here. And I have precognitions of the future. The very second I watched one of his shows, that something instinctively told me that he's somebody, and if you guys remember my past shows, I would always kind of hint that I was looking for somebody. I don't know who or how or why, but there's another piece of the picture that I need help with, and I want you guys to listen. This is like a stranger, dust in the wind. It's a religious channel, kind of the complete 360-degree opposite of Naughty Beaver. But, you know, knowing what you guys know about me and what I do, you know, I still have this sensitive side that still listens to scripture. You'd never know it with the potty mouth that comes out of me, but I'll say it again, that people change. And I know my instincts. My instincts prove me right, but I want you just to listen to what this man had to say. It just blew me away. How I even stumbled across this video, it was brought to me. Let's see what he had to say.
Hi, I wanted to bring you a message today and talk to you about what's going to be taking place with the messages from this point going forward. Although I will continually revert back to Scripture and refer you back to Scripture, particularly the Gospels, to understand Yeshua and understand what Christ is in you. So to pay attention very closely to his words, because Christ in you is going to be how you actually make it through what is about to come. There are some things that are taking place, as you're probably well aware of, very much in the cosmos and the stars and the signs that the scriptures tell us to look to. And these things are almost incomprehensible to man. It takes everything you have to wrap your mind around the things that are coming. When you start to learn of planetary bodies that are being cloaked, when you begin to learn of technologies that are being utilized that you can't even imagine that mankind even has. So, bridging the gap between what mankind's technology is and technology within the cosmos in and of itself is where you begin to grasp the fact that there is an enemy that is much more powerful than you recognize, which is why I continually reference your degradation of the power of the enemy down to a red man with a pointy tail and a pitchfork. This is significant for you to grasp. So when I refer to forgetting all that you think that you know, you must do that in order to fully grasp and to understand what is coming upon this world. So what I'm going to be doing within this video is I'm going to be referring you over to another channel to reference some materials and to study those materials and to listen to the individual because he knows what he's talking about. And remarkably, he has done the research for you, and he's done it in such a way that he knows his task. He doesn't necessarily know everything as he refers to, but he knows his task. And this is what I speak of when I speak of mine. I have an appointment and I have a task. He has an appointment and he has a task. And all of the other channels that I've referenced and that I referred you to all have their appointed time and their task. And this is why Scripture also speaks of a little bit here and a little bit there, precept upon precept. This is incredibly important for you to begin to understand, because the information that you need going forward is not necessarily going to help you in your spiritual walk, but it's going to help you identify the things that are taking place. So when they happen, you know that I said they happen. And when they happen, you know that the other people that have spoken of these things know that they've happened. And so those reaffirm your faith. So the spiritual body is one component that you must build and you must have. It is the most important thing for you to understand and for you to grasp in order for you to endure what is about to come upon us. So this is my task and my appointment. The person that I'm going to refer to you, his name is Naughty Beaver on YouTube. So I ask you to seek out his channel. He is going to be speaking to you about Hopi prophecy and quite a bit of the celestial bodies and the celestial navigations that are taking place that he is actually conducting and doing some amazing research on. He is revealing to you things that I've known, but it was not my appointment, it was not my task to bring those to you, because it's his. And it's others that are also doing similar work to what he's doing. And I've referred to you to many other channels as far as revealing the prophecies within the scriptures and helping you understand that stars are angels and angels are stars. So with that said, I want to help you understand that the season of the things that I'm going to be discussing is going to be integrating what you're about to see with what you're going to be experiencing spiritually, and how to remain steadfast in your spiritual walk. Because the separation is happening. The line is being drawn in the sand, and the enemy is becoming very, very strong in those that have accepted the ways of the enemy. And even those that have begun their spiritual walk, it becomes very easy for them to step in the ravine into the enemy's world, which I receive on a daily basis. I receive such staggering attacks, such demonic attacks, that it's difficult for me to comprehend, and these become distractions for me, which I try to avoid at all costs. I am not perfect by any means. I'm not any different than you are. I simply have a different appointment and a different task, as I've spoken of. So referencing things that I've done in my past is really a moot conversation, because the reality is, if you want to be able to articulate what the architect of this system does and how he operates, well, then you have to have participated with that architect and have to have been a part of his systems, which I have. I have helped establish those very systems, which is why I can tear them down. And myself and others just like me are doing just that. You cannot possibly go into somebody else's system and understand it in any way, shape, or form unless you've actually functioned within it and operated within it. So I appreciate those that would attack me and try to bring my past to light, because all it does is highlight what it is that I know today. And the separation that took place within me that separated me from that was an appointment. I was supposed to be there, and I'm supposed to be here now in opposition to it. So what I would like to be able to convey to you today is about the alteration of these messages, and to refer you to Naughty Beaver and to pay attention to the Hopi prophecy, because the things that are coming upon us right now are unimaginable. And from the magnetic forces and from the energetic forces within your body right now that you're feeling, the waveforms that have taken place that used to be long waveforms have now become shorter and faster. And this is why it feels like to you that time has sped up. You used to have a good year. Today you have a good day. You no longer have a good year. And sometimes It's even faster that you have a good hour and then you have a bad hour. So the waveforms of the good and the bad have become so accelerated. Now, as that waveform continues to compress, those two things will combine. And in that combination is when all things are revealed, because good and bad are the same. There is no difference. There is no differentiation. And those that still have the serpent within them will completely collapse, because the things that are going to take place from a visual standpoint will make the mind of a man that has not been exploring these truths and that has not established in himself such a spiritual stand, knowing who he is, knowing that wherever he's standing, he's on holy ground. That's why take off your shoes, for you're standing on holy ground, because wherever you stand is holy ground. Because recognizing who you are is the critical path in this. And denying the world that this illusion that has been set up and not accepting it is the critical path. Not accepting it as truth, but understanding who you are as the truth. And when Scripture refers to holding fast to what you have lest someone take your crown, that's referring to the truths that once you know these truths, once you have grasped these and you know that it's true, why eat anything else? Once it's true, you can digest that, let it become, and do not eat any other food. It's not about hiding anything. I have nothing to hide. I'm exposing everything to you. My life is an open book. Understand that those are just distractions, because the line has been drawn in the sand and the enemy is trying to bring people back over that line. And he's going to do everything he possibly can. And this is why the daily dying is important. Dying to yourself daily. And I've asked the Father to leave me alone, allow me to be by myself, no distractions whatsoever. But he's made it abundantly clear to me that that's not to be the case. So right now, he is bringing somebody into my life that is significant in my task, which I didn't necessarily realize just how significant until just recently.
I don't want to play the whole video. I was looking for somebody to come into my life, and I believe you're the man. And I like what he said. You know, I've never read the Bible, but I know inside there's a good man. You'd never know it listening to my channel. I really wish you would have put a disclaimer to your followers before they see this, but I'm going to have to church up my channel a bit. And he said what I was trying to say. That all you got to do is answer the calling. It doesn't matter your status and what you've done and who you were. I can peer into this man's past. And do you think I judge him for anything? I don't care. Look what he's doing now. He touched me with the video. And it's not about fame or anything. It means nothing to me. But I'll tell you why I was in tears. Because I have quite possibly the most important message that Christianity would ever want to see. It goes beyond the Hopi prophecy. It's the end of the Bible. It's something I was destined to do, but I was looking for someone to be my voice. And I think I found that someone. It took 2 years of my life, and I didn't know how to say it. You know, being naughty Beaver, it's not the right way for the message. So wherever you are, my friend, I thank you. It touched me. I said, I don't know this man. But everything is unfolding exactly as how I had foreseen it. It's neat because, you know, this is a total stranger. Of all the people in the world, to stumble across Naughty Beaver, There's those little miracles out there that people just aren't seeing. I am going to have to cut and edit like this is a sport. I just touched. I was walking by. I don't know how or why I knew he would say that the second I looked at him, but I will find a way to get in touch. I close comments on my channel because it's not that I don't care, but he said it in there. It's the hatred and the negativity is starting to multiply. That the hate begets hate begets hate. Take the high ground and close the comments. And I want to touch on something that you said in there that's important for people to realize. It's Daniel 7:25. He will speak out against the Most High and wear down the saints of the Highest One. And he will intend to make alterations in times and in law. They will be given into his hand for a time, times and a half a time, which translated is 3.5 years. A time is a year. You hit the nail right on the head. The time is changing. Some people call it the Mandela effect. Lots of ways to look at it. But the fact is that Satan has the power to change time. And when it says wear down the saints of the Highest One, there's a lot of people in the truth community. I see it because you look at the numbers, that the channels are being censored, the people are walking away from it because they feel that nobody's listening. That's Satan. That's not just YouTube. That's pure evil in itself. When people make a decision to look, to like, to love, to hate, that's what I'm seeing all around me. So I do have a great message for you, my witness friend. I'll find a way. Maybe I'll hack your computer. It's astonishing. To me, it's important what just happened. Because I have mapped out a series of events, a timeline. And that timeline was always changing. But I see now we're on the brink of war, in everything else. That I need somebody like this to pass on what I have to say, and it might just change the world. Nutty Beaver out.
Can beauty come out of ashes?
Your soul is screaming for you to answer your true calling.